Hey everybody, it's Emily at Homeschooling, and welcome back to another episode of Homeschool Tidbits. Welcome back to Homeschool Tidbits. Today we're going to be doing episode 65, and we're going to be talking about homeschooling the inquisitive child. In this weekly video series, I'll delve briefly into a topic related to homeschooling, and I'll share some of my knowledge and expertise as a longtime homeschooling mother of 4 children, 3 of whom have graduated, 1 who is a college graduate, and 1 who will soon be a college graduate. We know that children are prone to asking questions, and we want to encourage that. But what do you do when your child asks a constant stream of questions? How can you keep up without derailing your day? If this is not your child, today's video may not be useful for you. But if you know exactly what I'm talking about, keep watching, because I've got a few pro tips to help you homeschool your inquisitive child. My youngest is what I would call inquisitive. She always has been, and I've always encouraged my children to ask questions. So of course, I prided myself on how many questions she asked in a day. I'm not even kidding when I say that my daughter is made of questions. I've always done my best to answer her, or at least help her find the answers to her questions, even to the point of building entire unit studies for her based on those questions. And believe me when I say that I love how curious she is. But there came a point last year when I realized that I had been allowing her to derail our lessons to the point that we weren't getting through the amount of material that I thought we should. And her questions would often steer us off course in my efforts to ensure that she found the answers that she sought. So I had to sit down and think about what I could do about this dilemma. Now I realize that many people would think this is a good problem to have, and that's true. We do want to raise children who ask a lot of questions and who seek out answers to those questions. I mean, is that not the entire point of education? But I needed to find a way to keep us from derailing our routine so much. We are in high school now, and we cannot follow every little rabbit trail that sprouts up. So the first thing I started doing whenever she begins to ask me a question is to say, wait, is this on topic? This is probably incredibly obvious to everyone else, but sometimes she would ask a question that just occurred to her about something that we'd been talking about an hour ago, or something she'd been mulling over for a few days. And if she said no, it's not on topic to what we're currently studying or talking about, then I would ask her to please hold her question until the end of our school day so that we could get through our lessons. She's got a very good memory, and she'll still often come to me with those questions at lunchtime, and then we can tackle it when we have the time. This has gone a long way to just keeping us on track with our lessons for the day. Now, I've also seen ideas for things called wonder boards or wonder books, which is a really cute idea, but my daughter is nearly 15, and I thought she might find something like that a little babyish, but it did give me an idea. I'm going to start having her keep a notebook next to her while we're doing our lessons, and whenever a question pops into her mind, particularly one that doesn't have to do with what we're talking about, she can jot it down in her journal. Not only will this keep us on task, but it will also give her some extra practice with her arch nemesis, writing. Then we can go over that litany of questions at the end of our school day. Anything that is pressing, of course, we can spend some time exploring. Another thing that I've always done, but that I am now doing more in earnest, is strewing. Now, I first learned about strewing many years ago in an article on unschooling. This is the idea that you just leave things laying around. Rather than creating a formal lesson for something, you would just leave those materials out and about around the house for your children to stumble upon. Now, I've found that for us anyway, strewing alone is not enough. My kids will not pick those things up randomly. That's just not how my children have ever been. I don't know, maybe other kids do that, but not in our house. So rather than leave things out for them to ignore, what I do is I offer one thing. Maybe it's a book or a video or something, perhaps even a field trip, to answer them or help explore their interest further. So, for example, my daughter is 14, and she was asking me a lot of questions about drugs. She'd heard someone talking about it somewhere, and then she just had, of course, just a whole bunch of questions, and it was starting to become a derailment situation. So rather than tell her to stop because we have other things to do, I offered her a book that would have information in it that she could peruse in her free time. And sometimes that's all it takes. That book was enough to just get us on with the rest of our day, or the promise of the book was enough to get us back on track. And then her curiosity satisfied, we could do what we needed to do. Until the next time she gets an attack of the questions. What I never do is to tell her to stop interrupting me with her questions. I want her to know that questions are a good thing, that they lead to learning, that they're not annoying, and that I will always be willing to help her find the answers. However, we might not be able to stop and answer every question right in that moment, but we will always try to circle back. Homeschooling a very inquisitive child is an adventure that requires patience and flexibility and a willingness to embrace their curiosity. By nurturing that sense of wonder and providing a supportive learning environment, you can help your child to thrive as a curious learner who is eager to explore the world around them. Do you have an inquisitive child? What is your best tip for helping them answer their questions without derailing your day? I'd love to hear about it. Let's chat about that down below in the comments. If you found this video helpful, I hope that you'll check out Build Your Library curriculum. Build Your Library is a secular, literature-rich homeschool curriculum inspired by Charlotte Mason's philosophy of education. Based on nearly 20 years of homeschooling, I created the curriculum that I wished I'd had when I first started homeschooling my children. I've spent thousands of hours cultivating the best literature to enhance your children's studies. Our lesson plans make homeschooling simple. Just open them up, gather your books, and go. Our easy-to-use lesson plans include everything you need to homeschool. Just add math. Choose from our full-year K-12 levels, as well as our fun topical unit studies and our newest product, Lit Bites. With Build Your Library, you will cultivate a home library filled with captivating literature, and you'll raise children who become lifelong learners. So snuggle up with our lesson plans and a great book or three, and have your best homeschool year ever. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this tidbit to be helpful. Be sure to come back next week for more homeschooling inspiration. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.